What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So there's a lot going on right now regarding the stimulus package, regarding the $1,400 stimulus checks, the child tax credits, the unemployment benefits, rental assistance, nutrition assistance, mortgage assistance. The list seriously goes on and on and on. But ever since the Senate passed this bill on Saturday morning, we've been getting a lot of kind of updates and information as to what we could potentially see moving forward. And this is actually really good news. Right now, first, we have the House is expected to vote on this bill tomorrow afternoon. They are expected to pass this bill. Right now, many people are saying that the House will most likely not lose more than 4 Democratic votes. If they lose 5, the bill would actually be tied. I think it's like 216 to 216. I believe if the bill is tied, I don't know how they go and settle this. I probably should have looked into that. I just don't know how they do. I don't think they really tie very often. But right now, many people expect they will only lose 2 votes, possibly 3 max. So it's going to pretty much pass with razor thin margins. However, everyone expects this is going to pass. What we do know is that once this bill is passed by the House, nobody's really expecting to see any changes in the House, so there's no need for it to go back to the Senate, which means once it's passed through the House, probably tomorrow, it would most likely be signed by President Biden either tomorrow evening or Wednesday afternoon. Most expect President Biden will sign this on Wednesday afternoon. According to Jen Psaki, the White House press secretary, she says that President Biden believes all the stimulus checks of $1,400 will be sent out by the end of this month. That is currently what they're predicting, but many experts, including many people from the IRS, are stating, no, this isn't going to happen by the end of this month. We could see stimulus checks go out through direct deposit by next week at the earliest. So that's really good news there. We also have some very good news, but rather unexpected news as well, and I want to bring you that update as well. One of the things that we're hearing, according to multiple experts, is that the IRS does not want anybody that received any type of unemployment income through 2020, they don't want to see an amended tax return if you already filed and then this bill goes through and then you get that $10,200 of unemployment income tax free. They don't want an amended tax return, which is very good news because this is actually going to delay the IRS even further. What they are saying right now is that many experts believe the IRS doesn't want more amendments showing up simply because it would take even longer to get through all the 2020 tax returns. What they did say is that the most likely outcome is the IRS is just going to automatically review anybody that received any type of unemployment income in 2020. They will automatically review their taxes that they filed, and then they would send out they would actually send out an adjustment or a refund either through the bank account that you paid through or the bank account that you received your refund through. So that's the good news. Money would most likely be paid out very quickly. Some are expecting that we could see the money that you already paid, your overpayment, you could probably see that coming back in the next 2 months. So that's currently what's being predicted. And the reason I say the next 2 months, according to these reports, is simply because the IRS is going to be tasked with trying to send out this child tax credit within, possibly July 1st. And so that's kind of the issue, is they don't have a lot of time. We are currently in March. We'll just say beginning of March, right? What's it today? March 8th. Pretty much the first week of March. So it's the beginning of March. So we have April, then May, and they don't want to go any further because if they go into June, the problem is the IRS is supposed to be getting ready for the child tax credit, which many people say could be a big issue. Here's another more unexpected news, but more good news as well. Democrats right now, according to reports, Democrats purposely did not include multiple years of that $3,000 child tax credit simply because they are saying it could have received even more pushback from moderate Democrats. One of the things that they are expected to do, according to this report, is Democrats are expecting to put in a provision in President Biden's Build Back Better plan to include a permanent fixture of this child tax credit. This means that in 2021, that's the only year that this $3,000 or $3,600 child tax credit would be applied to. However, Democrats are actually looking into a way to make this a permanent thing for multiple years, and they would put this in President Biden's Build Back Better plan, or also known as that roughly $3 trillion infrastructure bill, which according to multiple Democrats, this is going to have more stimulus than the $1.9 trillion stimulus package that just passed through the Senate. So we will see what happens there. The good news, though, is that if this child tax credit becomes a more permanent thing, then we aren't just going to lift children out of poverty and parents out of poverty as well for 1 year and then bring them all back down. This is going to lift them out and keep them out of poverty for multiple years. Hopefully that alone will help get them on their feet, put them on the right track. Then they start making more and more money, and they could pretty much survive on their own, providing for themselves and their family. That's kind of the goal. One thing I do want to say, though, because I've been getting a lot of questions on this and I understand why. I mentioned, I think earlier on this past week, that the child tax credit is going to be a 1-year benefit. However, you're only going to get monthly payments for 6 months. This is according to the reports. If this starts on July 1st, you get paid in July, August, September, October, November, and December. That's 6 months. Then people are saying, well, where's the other 6 months? Well, based on what we know, you get 6 months of payments. Then on January 1st, your payments would stop completely. And then once you file your federal income taxes for 2021, then you would get the rest of that child tax credit. Let's say you get 6 months of payments for, let's say, $1,800. And then when you file your taxes, you get the other $1,800, which would be the $3,600 for a child between 0 and 5. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now. There's going to be a lot of questions on that, and I understand it's very confusing, but that's currently what we're hearing. And this is also something, again, that Democrats want to extend more than just 1 year. And if it's extended more than 1 year, the payments would not stop in December. They'd continue on January, February, March, and then you'd also get the reimbursement or the leftover funding. Let's say that other $1,800 when you file your federal income taxes, you'd get that on top of your monthly stimulus, not a stimulus check, your monthly child tax credit advance. So that's kind of what we know there. And again, that's all according to reports is expected to come through President Biden's Build Back Better plan. And here's another big change in regards to President Biden's roughly $3 trillion Build Back Better plan, is that according to not just reports, according to Senator Joe Manchin himself, he said this in an interview today. He said that he is currently not in support of another budget reconciliation bill. And this is what a lot of Democrats were saying, is that we couldn't waste the first budget reconciliation because we know we're going to need it again. So they have three. They have three for this year, for 2021. They have 3 budget reconciliations. They've already used one, or they're going to use one. And then if they try to do the infrastructure bill or this $3 trillion Build Back Better plan under a budget reconciliation, that will be the second, which leaves them only one more, right? Here's the issue. According to Senator Joe Manchin, he says he doesn't want to cut out Republicans again. He believes that President Biden gave up way too early before he even tried to get Republicans on board with a bipartisan stimulus package. Again, that's according to Senator Joe Manchin himself earlier on today. And he says he would not support a budget reconciliation bill if Democrats do not attempt to pass a bipartisan package first. If Democrats go and try to get Republicans on board, there's just no way around it. They have to do a budget reconciliation. He didn't come out and say he would support that then. He just said he would not support another budget reconciliation bill without trying to get Republicans on board first. So you can take that as you wish. My guess is he would not support another budget reconciliation no matter what. So then you're going to have progressives saying, well, let's just get rid of the filibuster. And Joe Manchin has already stated he would not support getting rid of the filibuster. Kyrsten Sinema doesn't support that as well. Even President Biden does not want to get rid of the filibuster either. So right now, there's a lot of stuff in question. Now, if Joe Manchin does go against President Biden and Democrats and goes against a budget reconciliation, then you will have a huge change in everything that happens. We will see right now the next stimulus package or the next infrastructure bill people call it a stimulus bill, stimulus package. We'll have to see what's in it before we give it a label, but right now it's President Biden's Build Back Better plan. And what we can expect right now is this would ultimately change the course of this package, because some are expecting to see a minimum wage provision. Well, it's not going to happen at $15 per hour if, well, for one, they can't do it with a budget reconciliation. And the second thing is, if Republicans are trying to get on board, it's not going to happen at $15, maybe around $10 to $12, but that's probably as high as it's going to go. We also will not see student loan forgiveness. That's been a big thing that both Elizabeth Warren and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer have wanted, but we probably won't see that as well if they're trying to get 10 Republicans have to vote for this, being that there's only 50 Democrats, so there has to be 60 votes in the Senate. Right now, there's not going to be 10 Senate Republicans, at least, that will vote in favor of student loan forgiveness, especially up to $10,000. Definitely no way to get them at $50,000. And then we might not see anything for Social Security as well if their goal is to try to get 10 Republicans on board. Right now, Republicans are very worried about the overall spending. And so to spend even more money is going to be very difficult, especially to spend money on something that, on Social Security, according to reports, that doesn't actually bring the money back. Now, people on Social Security put money into or spend their money on medications. Obviously healthcare obviously is the biggest one, but some GOP members are saying that if you spend money on Social Security, it doesn't come back as quickly, and it doesn't actually circulate through the economy as fast as money would be spent for things like unemployment, taxes, and things like that. So what we do know right now is that more people currently are wanting to see the $1.9 trillion stimulus package just passed. Let's get it passed, and then we can talk about what's next. But what we do know is that if there's more people that oppose the budget reconciliation process, it's going to be even harder for Democrats to get in their priorities. And this is going to be a big thing, because right now, Republicans are saying we do not need a lot of the stuff that President Biden is mentioning to put into this infrastructure bill, which he's calling the Biden's Build Back Better plan. And centrist Democrats are going to play a major role in this. And here's the issue. This is something that I didn't realize was going to be an issue until earlier on today. But what people are saying, and many experts are expecting this, is that progressives are actually going to get pushed aside, because progressives received a lot of input. They gave a lot of input to Democrats and to the committees to try to get these different things into this $1.9 trillion stimulus package. But right now they're saying centrist Democrats, that's going to be the group, the Joe Manchins of the House and the Senate. That's going to be the group that Democrats and President Biden really has to go after and cater to, because if he doesn't, this entire bill will most likely just fall apart. So he said right now all expectations are centrist Democrats are going to have the majority of the say. Progressives are going to be pushed aside because they got a lot of their kind of wish list included in the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. So we will see what happens there. What I can tell you is that Congress needs to begin the negotiation process as quickly as possible on this roughly $3 trillion infrastructure bill, because many experts are predicting that the longer they wait, the harder it's going to be to get a meaningful deal done quickly. And what they say by meaningful is we could see a bill done fairly easily with Republican support and bipartisan bill, get to 60 votes. The problem is it might not provide the relief, the recovery, and the kind of the pushing us into the next decade that President Biden really wants. And if that's the case, Democrats are most likely not going to support it, and so we'd be right back to where we kind of already are. So right now, that's what we know. There's a lot of changes going on regarding the future as far as the infrastructure bill, as far as what we were not able to pass in this $1.9 trillion stimulus package, whether it was a Republican priority or a Democratic priority. And what we are hearing is whatever wasn't passed is just going to get pushed into the next bill. And if it gets pulled out then, it will just be pushed into the next bill, the next bill, and the next bill until it finally passes. What we're hearing is Democrats are not going to give up. They're going to pass a $15 minimum wage. They don't care how long it takes. If it means they have to pass a $11, $12 minimum wage first and then push for the bigger bill, they're going to do exactly that. So that's kind of what we're hearing. But as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back and share more. I just wanted to kind of fill you in on what we're hearing today. If If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe so you don't miss any more of my updates, and I'll see you guys on the next one.